Hey everyone, welcome back to This Mobile Life. If you're new here, my name's Dustin, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what I believe is the best truck setup for pulling a fifth wheel RV. Also, if you're new to our channel, you might not have seen this setup before. It's brand new for us. It's our third RV. We've had a Class A, big 40-foot Class A motorhome that we used to pull our Jeep behind. Then we had a Class B Airstream van touring coach. And then now we have our 42-foot long Brinkley 3610 and our 8-foot full-size bed Ram 3500 high output coming, just beast of a truck. So this is a totally new experience for us. We've got about 800 miles pulling this experience so far in a couple of months that we've had it. So it's been fantastic. Just to cut to the chase, and I'm going to go through all of this in this video, but today we're going to be talking about how we set up the truck to be able to tow and maximize the storage capacity and the ease of use and all that kind of stuff. We're really talking about 4 products. The first product is our Gen Y Goose Hitch. This is a Brinkley supported product as well, so that's really nice. It doesn't void the warranty or anything like that. And then we have a B&W Gooseball drop-in. We have the factory puck system in our bed of our truck, so we have a Gooseball that just drops into the frame, and it works fantastic. And then on top, we have a RollnLock tonneau cover. It's a retractable tonneau cover. We'll talk about why we picked that. And then also inside the truck, we have a full-size 61-inch wide steel toolbox that locks and keeps all of our stuff secure. So it's been a fantastic addition, and it's worked out exactly how we hoped it would. So first off, why do we choose the Gen Y Gooseball? Everyone had really good reviews of it. So again, we had never pulled fifth wheel before. We've never pulled a kingpin type setup or a traditional fifth wheel hitch, nor a gooseneck or a gooseball setup. So we really didn't know. We did tons of review online. There's tons of information about this hitch online. There's tons of videos about it. Brinkley put out videos, Gen Y put out videos, a bunch of content creators put out videos, and from what everybody said, it was a fantastic hitch. So we decided to go with that because we really wanted to maintain the storage space that we had in the bed of the truck. If you're not familiar with fifth wheels, when you put a normal kingpin on a RV, you have to have a really large hitch that takes up a lot of the bed space. So we didn't want to do that. So we went with this. Obviously, in order to hook that into the truck, we needed a Gooseball. And again, B&W is a very respected name in the towing industry. We did a bunch of research on it. They have a direct drop-in OEM Gooseball that fits perfectly into the bed of our truck. And then they've got the safety chain anchors that go into 2 of the other factory puck mount locations in the truck. And that's why we picked that product. It's been fantastic. It's built like a tank. The other really nice thing about it is you don't necessarily have to touch the Gooseball, which is usually covered in grease, to take it out of the truck when you're done towing. That has its own kind of special handle system that you just click and lift up and pull out and put it right back in its case, and you don't have to get all nasty and dirty. So that's been working out really well for us. When it comes to tonneau covers, there's really 3 options out there. You've got the folding style, that's usually 3 or 4 panels, and they kind of fold up on top of each other as you open it up. You've got the rolling style that rolls up on top of the bed, and then you have the retractable style, which is ultimately what we picked. The reason we didn't go with the folding style is we were really concerned, especially because we've never pulled a fifth wheel before, we were really concerned with the clearance of the bed. As you fold that thing up, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and eventually it'll all be up at the front, but depending on how long your RV is and how much it overhangs the bed of the truck, we weren't sure if we would have to worry about catching that when making sharp turns. Ironically, the very first campsite we went to, we had to do it very aggressive 90-degree back in, which was super fun the first time you're backing in a huge fifth wheel that you've never driven before. And it worked fine, right? So we had no clearance issues. The RollnLock system is only about ½ an inch above the bed at its tallest. So, and again, I'll put links to all these products in the description below in case you want to take a look at them or have any questions. The next style is the roll-up style. So the roll-up style, really, again, a lot of really good products out there, a lot of really good reviews. Really easy to use. You just grab the cable at the back and roll it up towards the cab of the truck and then clip it in place. A little bit more expensive than the folding style. Still a ton of really good reviews on how well they seal up. But again, we were worried about how much room that roll of tonneau cover would be at the window. So we opted to go with the retractable. Again, it only has about ½ inch at its tallest above the bed, and it's been fantastic. Is it 100% waterproof? No. Although it does a really good job. It will get a little bit of water kind of on the edges if it's a really heavy rain. But other than that, it's been fine. The other nice thing about this is it looks like a vinyl top on the top, but actually underneath it's solid aluminum. And that means somebody can't just come up and cut the top of the tonneau cover, reach in and steal your stuff. So it's been fantastic. And when it's time to hitch up, all I have to do is literally grab this strap, turn the handle, which I've already unlocked, and then let it go, and it rolls up into its own canister inside the bed of the truck, and it works out super slick. The canister inside the truck, by the way, also has drain tubes that go out this kind of the bottom of the, or out the bed of the truck, and that keeps any water from accumulating or causing, you know, a mess inside the back of the truck. Every once in a while, I do anticipate having to take the cover off and take a couple screws out and clean out the canister, because leaves and things will get sucked down in there if you have a bunch of stuff on the cover before you roll it up. But other than that, it's been fantastic. We did install the tonneau cover ourselves. Really not that hard. You do have to screw in this particular brand and this particular truck bed. You do have to put a couple screws into the bed of the truck for part of the bracket. And then we did have to adjust it. So the first time we took it out, we hit some pretty bumpy roads, and even though it was latched in place, it decided to unlatch itself and roll itself up, which is obviously not ideal and not what you want to have happen. So we got out, did some adjustments, kind of redid some measurements and tightened it back down, and it's been perfect ever since. It's never come undone since then. The other nice thing about it is you can roll it up part way. So this particular model, and there's a lot of models out there, but this particular model will will retract to 3 different positions. So if you did want to have it partially closed while you were towing, you could do that. If it was raining or something like that and you wanted to keep some of the water out of the bed of the truck. All in all, it's been a really fantastic tonneau cover. And then the last thing we did is kind of up in the front of the truck, not all the way up in the front, because the tonneau cover does take a little bit of, the canister takes a little bit of a space. We put a 61-inch wide locking steel toolbox that goes the whole width of the truck, locking latches, and that's where we keep all the stuff that we don't want to get stolen. And then if you do have to tow with this open and it's raining, everything in the toolbox is going to stay dry. So it's super nice. In front of the toolbox, we actually left a gap, again, because the canister does come down a little ways, and it actually ended up being the perfect place for us to store random outdoor things that we don't care if they get wet, but we also don't want them flying around the bed of the truck. So we have things like camp chairs and tents and kites that the kids play with, and sleeping pads and all that kind of stuff that, you know, can be outside. It goes right in front of the toolbox, underneath the tonneau cover canister, and it keeps it perfectly contained, doesn't move around, actually doesn't really even get wet up there, even if water does get inside the bed, and it's been fantastic. So all in all, hopefully this video helps. Again, the goal is to let people know that, you know, this type of setup is an option. We had to go and find videos from all kinds of different places and do all kinds of research to kind of figure out what the products were best for us. This might not be the right product for you or product set for you, but it's been fantastic for us. So hopefully that helps. If you found this content useful, please click like and/or subscribe if you want to see any future content that we put out. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you out there.